Hello, Peter from Play It Yourself here. Today we are playing Maeshowe. I think that's how you say the name of the game. This is designed by Lee Broderick and published by Dragon Dawn Productions. This is a solo or two-player co-op game about characters that fell into a tomb, the Maeshowe, and now they need to escape. So since we are playing solo, I already set it up here. We are playing a single character and we need to find our way out, and how you do that is you need to excavate this passage. We start with 4 because that's the normal mode. You can make it easier by removing 1 or make it harder by having additional passages. So if we can find our way out, we win. If we run out of life, we lose, or if we get basically lost, meaning our cards do not allow us to get out. So how does this game play? You will have 5 cards in your hand. I sleeved mine because you shuffle these cards quite a bit. And every turn you'll have to play a card and discard a card, and you do this in any order. So whenever you have a card, you have first of all their rune, which will matter for something that I'll explain later. Then you have this row, which is the play effect, and you have this row, which is the discard effect. So if you play this card, you will lose 2 HP. If you discard it, you will lose only 1. This card is the most important card in the game. It's the Excavate Passage card. If you play it, you're contributing to your victory condition. If you discard it, nothing happens, so it's also not bad. So what type of cards do you have in the game? You have the Excavate Passages, which are very important. You have cards that deal you damage. You have cards that gain you food, and which is these white tokens. And why would you want food? Because you can convert that food into life by using something like this, where you can trade in food tokens. For each food token you trade in, you gain 1 life. Then you have cards that straight up give you life, and you have other cards. For example, this one, if you play it, you lose all your food, and if you have no food, that's okay. But if you discard it, you lose 1 life. Okay, so a turn simply goes, like I mentioned, you play 1 card and you discard a card. And when you play a card, you play it into this row. Any card played into this row, you won't see them again in this game. What are you trying to do by playing this card into a row? So that's where these Excavate Passages come in. Whenever you have 4 Excavate Passages of any color, 4 in a row, when you do that, you can remove 1 of these passage tokens. Okay? So that means you're closer to victory. Additionally, if all the passage cards are of the same color, so if you manage to get 4 of these blues in a row, you actually remove 2 tokens instead of 1. So that's very important, and it's actually one thing we need to achieve when playing in normal mode, because there are only 15 of these passage token cards, Excavate Passage cards. And that means that if you need 4 for each, you would need 16 cards, which you don't have. So having 15 means that at least one of these 4-card combo needs to share the same color. There's more of the blue Excavate Passage than the red, so we'll try to achieve that. I think we can go right away and start, and I'll explain the game as we go. So, what do we have? We have 2 of the Excavate Passage cards. We have a horrible card, which if we play it, we lose 2 life and need to add 2 tokens, although you never add more than you start with, but still losing 2 life is horrible. You have a gain 2 life, and you have a lose 1 life or eat all your food. So I know that for sure I want to discard this card that will lose us 1 life, and I need to play something. So I could start playing these cards. The problem is, if I play these cards and then I cannot complete the objective, I'll be having sacrificed cards from this, which are very rare. So I don't want them to be sacrificed. So I'll only start playing cards when I'm confident that I can finish a 4 set. So I'll discard this card. So we'll put the discard there, and this costs us 1 life. And I need to play a card. So I could play this one and gain right away 1 of these life. But I'll instead choose to play this one, which costs us all 1 food. Or every food that we have, but we have only 1. Sorry, this one got played, so it goes to the row. Now we draw 2 more cards, and we didn't get any more Excavate Passage. So we have two of the same. If you play one, you'll lose 2 life. If you discard it, you'll lose 1 life. So what I'll do is I'll start by discarding this card. It costs us 1 life. And playing the Raven, which gets us 2 life back. So we are almost back to where we started. And now we draw cards from the hand. One important thing to remember in this game that I didn't explain until now, because it didn't matter, you don't shuffle your discard into your deck if you run out of cards. There's only one way to reshuffle your discard into your deck, or to generate a new deck, is if you go mad. And going mad means that you draw a hand. So right now I drew 2 cards red. So if I play these 2 blue cards and I draw 2 more cards, and all the cards in my hands show the same rune color, so if all the cards are red, I automatically go mad. And that means you lose 1 life, truly, for the rest of the game, and you discard these cards into the discard pile and you shuffle the deck. So although this sounds horrible, it might be something you need to do. You might have to plan that you go mad if you see that you're discarding valuable cards, because otherwise you won't have the necessary cards to finish the game. Right, so now we are back to 4 life, and we have some Excavate Passage, some bad cards. For example, this card right now, if I choose to play it, is not so bad, because I don't have any food to lose, so there's no drawback for that, so I'll play that card. And I need to discard 1 card. I definitely don't want to discard the good ones, so I'll discard this one, which will cost me 1 life. And now I'll draw 2 cards. Alright, so this is looking quite good. So here's what I was explaining. I have 4 blue cards and 1 red. If I play this red, there's a chance that I will go mad and have to reshuffle all these blue cards that I want to play. So what I'll do instead is I'll play a blue passage, and I can actually collapse this because I don't really care about what's there anymore. And now I need to discard 1. I'll choose to discard this card because I don't even have food to pay for it. So it goes into the discard. Now I draw 2 more. What did I get? So this is sleeping. It gains me 1 life. And this is the 4th blue Excavate Passage that I need. So I'll play these cards. I play 1 and discard 1. I'll discard the sleep because I want to keep all the Excavate Passage in my hand. Another Excavate Passage and one of these cards that costs us life. I'll play another Excavate Passage, discard this one, which costs me 1 more life, and now draw 2 cards. Wow, there's a lot of passages. So I want to complete this one. I'll play 1, and now I need to pick a card to discard. What I need to watch out is for my life, because if I discard this card, I'll be down to 1 life and have to pray that I do not get more damage. So I'll play it safe. I could discard this one and start building up life afterwards, but I'll choose to discard this one. It's a bit risky, but I'll try it. So discarding this card has no effect, and when I played this card, I made a set of 4, so I remove 2 passage tokens, and now I only need to remove 2 more to win. So cards used here no longer counts for another set, so I could not just play an extra card here and now I have another set of 4. These cards are basically all used. Now let me fill my hand again. So this is good. I can gain some life even if it will cost me some more. So I'll play this card to cover that set. I gain 2 HP. Now I need to discard 1. They are the same, these 2, so I'll discard 1, lose 1 more life, and get 2 more cards. So what do I have? Still not enough to make a set. I would really like to make another set of 4 blue cards, because that would get us the win. But I need to wait for those cards to pop up. So I'll actually... what will I do? So I'll play this card to gain us a life. So my fear is that if I discard this card, I might go mad, and I don't want to go mad because I have 2 Excavate already. So I'll choose to discard 1. Sorry, no, not discard the red one, discard this blue one, because that guarantees I won't go mad because I have at least 1 red card, and nothing happens by discarding that one. So I draw 2 more cards. Alright. What will I do? I could start building the passage, but I'll play it safe. I'll gain 1 food by playing the goose and discard this one, which costs us 1 life. Alright, so our hand is looking great. 4 Excavate Passage, a bunch of blue ones, but I ran the risk of going mad. So I'll play 1, and now I need to discard 1. If I discard the blue, I know I won't go mad, but that means I might not be able to do the set of 4 that I want. If I discard the red, I'm keeping all the blues that I want, but I run the risk of going mad. So I'm actually gonna take my chances. I'm gonna discard the red one, and I'll pray not to get 2 blue cards. I don't. I got 2 red ones, and this is perfect, because now I can play the second Excavate Passage, discard the card, I'll choose to discard the goose, draw 2 more, and do the same again. So, play a blue, discard the eating card, now I have 3, I draw 2 more, I won't go mad because I had 1 red card, I'll play the 4th Excavate Passage, discard another card, and now, as soon as I played the 4 cards, I didn't even need to discard, I'll trigger this effect, get rid of the 2 passage tokens, and that's the victory, because I cleared all the passage tokens. So the game is all about managing these cards in your hand, basically making sure you retain enough life so that you can find your way out. In this game, we didn't have to reshuffle. I find that in normal or easy mode, we played normal mode, you don't really need to worry about discarding that much unless you get a bit unlucky with the deck. But as soon as you start playing with 5 or more passage tokens, you'll probably have to manage that discard. So you will have to force yourself to go mad. Because if you run out of cards from the deck, and now, for example, you play that one and you discard that one, you only have 3 cards in your hand. And because you only have 3 cards, not 5, you cannot go mad. And if you don't have the cards in your hand to win the game, you will lose, because you will not trigger the reshuffle. That's the basic game. Then you also have a bunch of expansions. So this is the base deck size, this is the expansion deck size. Each expansion is a set of 3 cards, so 2 that are alike and 1 different one, and this is the same for all of them, as you can see. They all add new rules, some make it harder, some cards make it easier, but overall it always increases the challenge. In order for you to be able to do the full passage, so to do 7, you'll actually need to play with some of these expansions, because with the base game cards you cannot do 7. The gameplay is really fast. We have been here for 12 minutes and I explained the game, and the round is almost already over. So this game is a game that lends itself to replays. I actually didn't notice any wear and tear on the cards, but because you are constantly shuffling this deck and you have cards that are not included in this deck from the expansions, I didn't want to be able to tell the difference, so that's why I sleeved them. If you want to play 2-player, you flip it to this side. Here, although it goes up to 4, players start with only 3 life. The food is shared. The rules are pretty much the same, except that each player has their own discard pile, but they all play to the same rule. So you'll have to manage when you play the Excavate passage, and there's 2 ways of playing. You can play with communication, which definitely makes it easier, because you can discuss what can be played and what cannot be played, or if you want your friend to eat the food or leave the food for you. Also, you have a variant where there is no communication, and then it's a lot tougher planning ahead. So, that was Maeshowe. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. It's a fun game. The first time I played it 8 times in a row, then I played it again, and I played it 7 times in a row, because as you can see, it's very short, very easy to play, and it's quite addictive, especially when you lose and you feel like, oh, I could have gotten that win, so you'll play again and again. So, that's it. It's a small package, as you can see here. Here's the box. There's a very simple insert, but it does fit even after sleeving the cards. There's also a baggie here where you would put these tokens. The only token you didn't see is this one, that's for the 2 players. This is a bonus that you play with. Basically, you can pass this token to your friend, and that way you don't have to play a card. It helps, because sometimes you might be in a dead end otherwise. And then you have the second player's hearts. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was clear. Sorry if I made any mistakes. And this is Maeshowe from Dragon Dawn Productions. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.